Hello, freak bitches.
Listen, the NBA had that mobbed up ref, and he said that he fucked the Warriors out of, and I mean the Kings out of that series against the Lakers. No one's going to take the fucking Lakers title away for that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
What is it?
He was a referee who was fucking fixing games.
No.
Yep.
Really?
That's how much you don't watch sports.
I don't watch sports at all.
No, it was fixed.
Tim Donaghy, 100% of NBA refs gamble. What? What? That's crazy.
But he's also he's in jail now. He's just trying to say shit. But I don't.
This is the guy that was the ref that was in jail?
Yeah, but he.
Is that him right there?
Yeah, he fixed game. He used to say from in jail, he goes, "You tell me who's reffing the game and I'll tell you who wins."
Wow. He spent 15 months in prison after pleading guilty to 2 charges of the case. He's out free. How much do you think he made? He joined Colin Cowherd Wednesday afternoon, had a fascinating answer when asked what percentage. He said 100. Wow.
No, that's no.
No?
That's no.
Not true?
No, that's just a fucking jailbird talking.
I used to gamble on UFC fights way back in the early days. When I first started working for them, I was like, who gives a shit? I can't really affect the outcome. So many, many years ago, they'd bring in these guys, they'd bring in some guy from Brazil that I knew about, and I would look at the line and I'd be like, you guys are out of your fucking mind. This guy should be a 10-1 favorite. And you got him an underdog? I'm like, ooh, I'm putting some money on that. And I'd put some money on it. But then after a while, I was like, this is probably not smart. I don't think it's illegal because I can't.
It's not good for the company.
No, it's also not good for me if I come off as biased anyway. I've been accused of being a biased commentator anyway. Even worse.
He didn't tap out. Come on, keep it going.
Come on. Yeah, but that's a different kind of thing though. Gambling when you're a referee is a big deal.
Yeah, and that's a game that's easily fixed.
How do they fix it? What do they do?
Because you can take stars out of the game by giving them fouls.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yeah.
So what did this guy mobbed up guy do?
You just sit people down. It's just if you're the best player on the team in the first quarter, I give you 2 quick fouls. I'm not going to see you again until the second quarter. And I've never fixed a fucking game, but I mean, I give you another one in the second quarter. I don't see you to the next half. And at some point, you're going to get mad. If I keep calling bullshit fouls, I might get you on a technical foul. That saves me a ticky-tack foul. And then that counts towards your fouls. And then 2 fouls, 2 technicals, you're out of the game. You're ejected.
So was it obvious that this guy was doing fouls? That he was?
I thought it was obvious that the NBA was kind of fixed for a while. I was sitting going I went to a game one time, the Celtics versus Utah Jazz, and I'm watching the fucking game, and the game starts, they're letting them play, and then they're calling it tight, and then they're letting them play, then they're calling it tight, and it's there was never an ebb and flow in how they were calling the game. It's like an umpire. You see in the first inning, the guy will step out of the box going, okay, that's a strike tonight? Okay, cool. Just finding out where your strike zone is. But like an umpire, if you start changing the strike zone, kind of changing sports on you here. Right. It's people are going to know, what the fuck's going on. You got to be consistent. So, with NBA refs, NBA games, you would watch, and it's just oh, they're calling it close tonight. He's letting the boys play. And, that was the game. They wouldn't just keep... Obviously, if it got really out of hand, they would tighten down. But I never saw a game where it was just you're pulling back on the range, you're letting them run, you're pulling back, you're letting them run. And it just made me feel like they were shaving points or something. I remember for years I said the game was fixed. And everybody said I was out of my fucking mind. And then they find a guy who's all mobbed up. And I go, there, vindication. They go, oh, it's just one guy.
Now, when you say mobbed up, how was he mobbed up? What was the issue with that guy?
It's just an expression. I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. But he was basically working for other people that... were part of a gambling that took, bookies or whatever.
Right. And he did something to make sure that the game leaned in that direction.
Yeah.
You couldn't totally fix it.
So if a team was favored by 8 and they want him to win by 8, he'd make sure it happened. Or it's probably easier to make sure they didn't by fucking over their offense. And then they would just, they try to get money. Look, if you're a legit bookie, all you're trying to do is get an even amount of money on each side.
Right.
Okay? Because with the combination of people teasing it and plus the juice and all of that, you're going to end up on top. You don't want a bunch of money all on one side and losing your fucking shirt. So what these guys would do is you get greedy after a while. It's I'm sick of this ticky-tack shit. Let's go for a big fucking score. They wouldn't do it every game. They just, every once in a while, be all right, listen, here's a game, probably, I don't know. I've never fixed a fucking game. I'm just guessing how they would go about doing it. Fix this one. All right, make sure these guys don't win by 8.
So did this guy admit that he fixed it?
Yeah, he went to jail.
But he went to jail for gambling on it, right? But
he went to jail for fixing it.
For fixing it. So what did he say? He said like he made fouls that weren't really fouls?
Well, you would do whatever he had to do.
This is what his attorney submitted, saying the manipulation that happened during one game.
Okay, so it was officiating a playoff series between Team 5 and Team 6 in May of 2002. It was a 6-game of a 7-game series, and a Team 5 victory that night would have ended the series. However, Tim learned from referee A that referees A and F wanted to extend the series to 7 games. Tim knew referees A and F to be company men, in quotes, always acting in the interest of the NBA, and that night it was in the NBA's interest to add another game. So the NBA wanted to fix it.
Yeah, for money.
Oh, the NBA fixed it. Referees A and F heavily favored Team 6. Personal fouls resulting in obviously injured players were ignored, even when they occurred in full view of the referees. Conversely, the referees called made-up fouls on Team 5.
Look up the highlights of the Lakers Kings game. It was ridiculous, the fouls that they were calling. But that's my thing, is when they said it was just one guy, it's like, how long could you be on an officiating crew while in one of your guys is dirty before you'd realize, like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah. Well, what about the guys that were betting on the other team? I'd want to kill that fucking referee. Can you imagine if you saw him call fouls that weren't really fouls and you knew what was going on? You knew your money was going out the window?
But I think they're really susceptible to it because, like, the amount of money that NBA players make is fucking insane.
Right.
They make, like, some of the contracts that they have coming up, and there's so few guys on the team, and there's, like, every year the draft, there's like 2 rounds in the draft. Like, fucking NFL goes on forever. There's 40-something guys on a team in the NFL. There's 20-something in baseball, 20-something in the NHL, and I think basketball, it's no more than 11 or 12 guys. So it's a very small group of people, and the income that they're generating, like their revenue share, I don't know how, like, that's all like super sports nerd shit. Like, I don't know how that works, but some of the contracts that some of these guys have been signing, like, they can afford to fucking pay that guy that. So now you're a ref and you're running with your fucking black aerobic Reebok sneakers up and down the court.
The Velcro closures.
And you're seeing the cars these guys are getting in, and all the women hanging out, and you're on the stage too. You're running up and down. No one gives a fuck about you. And I don't know what the pension is for the NBA, but, like, if I was in the NBA, if I was running, I'd be like, we got to fucking triple these guys' salary.
Is this the salaries of the players or the referees?
NBA players' salaries for right now.
What about the referees, though?
Oh,
so look at that.
Way less.
$35 million a year for LeBron.
Woo. That's just what he makes to play hoop.
Right. Not about
but
his
like
sneakers.
Most of their sneaker contracts are like more than what they make. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts.
It's a lot of cash.
Hey, good for them. I'm not like saying they should make the money. Obviously, if people are putting it out there, earning it for them. But, like, can you find out what a ref makes?
Do you know who Mike Conley is?
Yeah.
That's what's hilarious. I only know, like, the biggest guys. Like that Mike Conley. Someone goes, ooh, that's Mike Conley. Like, who the fuck's that guy?
I don't know who that is either.
Guy made $30 million last year.
He's the highest paid player in the NBA. He's because the contract.
There's a guy named Mike Conley.
Yeah, he's the starting point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's
but it's just a matter of time. Like, his contract came up at the time last year, and when the rest of the guys are going to get more this coming year and the following year. The TV contracts have gone up, and there's a percentage they're going up each year based off of the TV rights, and that's why it.
I watched almost every Celtic game last year. I never heard Mike Conley. Mike Conley. That sounds like a fucking politician.
He went to Ohio State same year as Greg Oden, who was that big bust, and he was just point guard.
Is he still playing in China or no?
No, he's actually Ohio State assistant coach right now. He went back to school for
playing in China. That's when it gets weird, right? And you got to go overseas to Europe. You're playing for $100,000 a year. You're like, oof.
I don't know. Sometimes if you're famous enough, they'll give you a little more. I don't know how that works either. I don't know how a lot of shit works. I just know I have a show coming out called F is for Family. That's why I'm here. The average salary of the NBA rep is from $150,000 to $550,000.
That's a big spread. What about the guy who's making the extra $4? How's he getting extra $4? Average salaries have spiked considerably since 1983, when NBA officials made between $18,000 and $78,000 each season. $550,000 is not bad. That's a lot of scratch. So you'd have to give them enough money where they don't feel tempted to cheat, right?
Yeah, that's the problem with politicians.
Right.
You make $550,000 a year, you're making $50,000 a year more than the president. So you kind of like, those guys are like set up to be like, here's a job that cost $100 million to get, and you're going to get paid 500 grand. So
Yeah.
you're just setting them up to have to cut deals with people.